Hello folks, long time no see. As you may have noticed in the last, one of the last videos I published on the channel, I will be making a video game. Like a proper, actually functioning video game. Not just something that's going to be, forgotten about or left at the wayside of history. No, something that's going to be actually made from start to finish as a standalone proper game. Not a joke thing, not a throwaway, not something I do for just a game jam 1 year and then forget about it. No, an actual functioning game. Which brings to mind a couple of questions. What am I gonna use? How am I gonna make it? How long will it take? And what's it gonna be? Also probably, I don't know, this is gonna suck. Odds are yes, so what am I making it in? Currently, I'm exploring the possibility of making it in Unity. I downloaded it. I've found the tutorials to be really all not that helpful at actually teaching you how to make a game. The ones built into the engine itself, I mean, they're more akin to things you would use to learn how to modify an existing game, which if you're going for the asset flip angle, yeah, it works well, but I'm not going for that angle yet. Maybe down the line. But currently, I'm going to try and find some better tutorials to explain the way that the game handles scripts and stuff. Because the built-in tutorials are terrible. And there's a whole community built around the game, so relying on those built-in scripts, built-in tutorials is probably not the way to go. So I'm on a mission of learning, of understanding how it functions, and then maybe actually making something in it. If not, then Unreal Engine, though I did try it a year ago, and I found it kind of really obtusely confusing as to how I even changed the controls of a character. It was really submenu Kafkaesque, horror-inducing, which is why I gravitated towards Unity initially for this thing. But if not, if neither of these works, CryEngine maybe? Though maybe not that one either. There's always Game Maker. I mean, Game Maker, it's in the name. Game Maker. And one of the best games to ever come out in the past couple of years is built on that, synthetic. It's built entirely in Game Maker, so that would be an option. But as that itself sorts out, there's always the ever important question of what am I making? What exactly am I doing? I mean, what is this game going to be? Because it can be something complicated. It can be something that's going to take me 50 years to figure out how to make and then realize, oh, it's impossible. No, it has to be something simple, something easy to do by one person that's barely gonna have time to make any sort of graphics. If it's entirely UI based, then it's gonna be actually kind of nifty. I mean, nifty in the sense that it'll probably be finished at some point in the future. If it's gonna require graphics and particles and effects, then it may take some time and also funding. Hey, speaking of funding, if you actually want to help me make this thing, which I don't even know what it is at this point, you could fund us on the Gaming HD Patreon with $1, and if there's like 50,000 of you, I can dedicate my life to just this. I could probably also kidnap Raul to do the gaming as well, the game development, I mean. I could probably kidnap a lot of people with that kind of money. Yeah. You're just gonna need a big bag. Gonna probably have to make a Kickstarter to get a bag big enough. But anyway, that's besides the point. Kidnapping sim. There's an idea for a game that probably not one that would really be all that good. So I made a list. I made a list of games that maybe I can make. It goes as follows. I'm going to read from this book. I'm not sure if the thing's going to pick it up, but here they are. There's Hospital Simulator 2015. This is basically a retread of the thing I did a year ago where I listed the games I wanted to make, but didn't because I'm a lazy ass bastard. One of the first games I ever made, if you can call it a game, was on the Electronica MS0511 computer, which was a Russian, I think it was a PDP-10 or PDP-11 clone or something. Had no clue how to program it. Didn't have any manual for it. Didn't have anything for it. I just figured out at one point how to get into a graphics or text editing mode. And then I just drew a map and put some units in it. And then when everybody wanted to play, I just drew the map again and the units, and we'd move them according to some made-up rules. It was basically a board game, a pen and paper game, but drawn on a computer really slowly. It was a different time. It was 1994, I think, or 1995, possibly 97. It was a while ago. Haven't really done much since. So, first project, possible project, if this thing's even in focus, I guess, it'll be the Hospital Simulator, which is that roguelike game where you sit in a hospital bed and bad things happen to you until you die. This is based on personal experience, by the way. So it's going to be ultra realistic. Another option, this is going to take a bit more of a work in terms of graphics. I mean, the first one could be entirely UI based. That would be like the simplest one to make and the most depressing one to make, and it's probably going to be the one that'll make you want to hang yourself if you play it. I mean, it's based on things that did make me want to hang myself, but I was paralyzed, so I couldn't do it. And this video is not getting monetized at all, which is going to be even worse for the budget. So, second option, a Pacala adventure. Somebody's got to do it. It may as well be me. I'm going to grab the Thanos glove and just bang, now the game exists. So Pacala is a folk hero. He's like a trickster, but not a trickster god. He's a trickster human who preys on the evil people that go around making other people's lives miserable. This is perfect fodder for an adventure game. Now, if it's text-based, then I can get away with a lot of things. But I kind of want it to have graphics, to look a certain way. I'm not entirely sure how I want it to look. I still haven't gotten to those details, but maybe one day? Hopefully, who knows? Third option, a cut-down version of Gods of Azure. Gods of Azure, if you don't know, is a god game I've been meaning to make for a long time. I tried to actually make a design document of it on Steemit, and based on the upvotes, the funding those posts would have gotten, I would have had like a budget to actually make the game. Then Steemit kind of imploded on itself. The fun fact, recently, like in the past couple of weeks, the prices of the Steam coin have gone a bit back up. So if we actually had stockpiles of it, which we don't because we spent them back in the day because I wanted to eat food. If we still had a bunch of those, we would have probably still funded something. But I only had a couple of those coins left, and I used them to get this thing for editing on the second job. By the way, if this goes well in terms of funding, I'm gonna be able to quit the second job. Not the first one though. Can't quit the first one. Goddamn communists. So back to the what I was saying. So the cut-down version of Gods of Azure, meaning that it wouldn't have the multiplayer aspect, it would barely have the graphics aspect, it would certainly not have the city builder aspect that I promised Steven from the channel, Steven Nonsense, hi Steven, that I'd put in the game at some point. By the way, Steven's making his own game for his university thing. At my university, we didn't do cool stuff like that. No, we just got reminded daily that there is no hope for humanity. The more optimistic of the teachers would tell us, leave this country as long as you can. The other ones would just hum quietly something about the end times. Which brings us to the other idea. Number 4, Communism Simulator. It's going to be something akin to Papers, Please, but you're not going to be at the border. You're going to be, I think, maybe at the shop or in line for the shop. Because actually, I think you may know this. One of the things that we did in communism and in capitalism, looking at you, Apple people, is stay in line for things. But, not phones that you replace in a year because they're built to break and not have proper battery life. No, we stood in lines for food. And, we didn't really have anything else that could be bought, so that's all we stood in line for. There was an old saying in my country, if you don't have old people, buy them. Because old people would not need to go to work because they had pensions and they would stay in line for you, to get the food that everybody needed to survive. So that's an idea. Another one, something involving ducks. Not sure what, but there's something there. I just know there's something there. Maybe a cat-focused or cat-based game for number 6. Again, similar to the duck one. There's something there. I'm not exactly sure what. Cats are big on the internet, so it's bound to take off. I mean, cat lateral damage was basically nothing, but it was amazing, and I played the hell out of it. I would have done a bread thing, but there's already I Am Bread, so that won't work. Number 7, Tale of Doom, but as a video game. Yeah, that's more because I ran out of ideas. Since Tale of Doom was initially a video game, a stupid one, a stupidly complex one that nobody could ever make. So that's why it's a book. Going back now to it as a game, coming full circle, or maybe a descending spiral into madness, that maybe would work. I mean, what kind of game would even Tale of Doom be? It can't be the Devil May Cry meets Minecraft meets Gothic. This was before Minecraft, by the way. Meets Dragon Ball Z. Stupidity I envisioned 20 years ago. Could be a fighting game, but again, that would require me doing animations, which we all know isn't going to happen. So that brings us to number 8, Eternal, but as a video game. Now, Eternal, if you don't know, is the sequel to Tale of Doom. This actually takes place in... Actually, I can't tell you where it takes place because that's a spoiler. It takes place somewhere. And I can probably do it as an adventure game. And it would work as long as I use very minimalistic graphics. Now that I think of it, if a lot of these are going to be adventure games, I could just use the AGS thing, the Adventure Game Engine System thingamabob that Yahtzee used for his game, and what's his name, Gilbert. I forget if the guy that did the Blackwell series. Blackwell series, by the way, that is just super. Like 4 games. I think there's 4, maybe 5. No, 4. 4 games. Great games, superb, absolutely great. Dave Gilbert. I keep confusing him with the Ron Gilbert, which is another adventure video game guy. An older adventure video game guy. Dave Gilbert, yeah. That was him. And then there's the final option of finish/remake Terrora de Dincolo de Cer. The fairy tale adventure superhero legends thing that I envisioned the last time I tried to do something like this and ended up dead. I'm a ghost, by the way. This is not a living... See this glowing light? That's ectoplasm right there. So, which is it gonna be? I'm gonna have to make up my mind, and you're gonna help me. There's going to be a poll attached to this video in the community section things. YouTube has a thing. If you're not on the YouTubes, I'm gonna put it on my Twitter as well, and I'm gonna make an average like of the various polls that will be scattered on the web, and depending on which one is more doable and which engine, then I'm gonna make one of these. Possibly. It also depends on me not being a big enough dumbass to actually figure out how things work and having the time to do it. Also, being able to do it while not incurring penalties at my main job or at my second job, which I should be actually studying for right now because we, You know, I think I'm gonna add number 10. It's gonna be a parody of my day job. I think that would work. I think that it'll be a Kafka-esque comedy where... Have you seen the movie Brazil? That, but as a video game, and even weirder in terms of how things are structured in a society. It's gonna be amazing. Can't wait to do it. Yeah, so number 10, the day job, but as a video game thing. It's gonna be super stupid. So now I pass it on to you. You're gonna vote and tell me if it's gonna be one or the other or the other or the other or the etc. up until number 10. And hopefully, one day, far from now, we're going to look back at this moment, yes, this very moment, and say, yes, I voted for that thing. Don't blame me. I didn't know what I was getting into. Who knew it was going to be such a colossal monster of a failure that it would create a black hole that swallowed the Earth? So, keep that in mind. Voting for one of these games would probably end up in you being responsible for the Earth being swallowed up by a black hole. So if you're into that, vote, and again, there's the Patreon, I guess. So, more videos on the way about the development of the actual game once we figure out which one it is. And probably more videos about the fancy video, because I got this thing, and this thing. Is the fancy video out? Did you remember to make the fancy video yet? You forgot, didn't you? You goddamn bastard, Unacom, you bastard. I told you so many times to make that video, and no, you decided, oh, I want to make a video game now. Oh, get back to making that video, or I'm gonna punch you from the future. Now that I've threatened myself, let's get down to work. Goodbye, everybody.